Hello everyone, and welcome to the Expert Talk, the unique destination for insightful conversations with experienced professionals. I'm your host, Suzette, the CEO of Sales Pro for You, and more about me as usual during the show. In this podcast, we will delve deep into, I'm so excited because I have Laura with me today. We will delve deep into the minds of accomplished experts who share their expertise and insights. Without further ado, I would like to start, directly and will present you my podcast guest of today's episode, which is Laura Doman. Laura, I hope I pronounced everything correctly. You are smiling, so it seems to be the case.
You're doing great.
Thank you so much, Laura. Laura, let me just give a short summary about your impressive expertise and background. So, Laura, you are a content creator, a marketeer, and voice and film TV actor with over 8 years of experience. Since transitioning from IT to acting in 2016, which is very impressive, I was already, mouth open, right? When I was, when Vicky told me this and I was introduced to you. However, you have worked on commercials, TV shows, and voice-over projects, mastering storytelling and on-camera skills. You also help individuals and businesses create engaging short-form videos like YouTube Shorts to boost SEO, so search engine optimization, and connect with audiences. So in a nutshell, your coaching focuses on building confidence for non-actors, making storytelling authentic and impactful. So Laura, welcome to the show. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm delighted to be here.
It's so nice. So I don't know if I mentioned this already, but you are from Atlanta today, talking to me, and the weather is not so nice. So maybe a bit nicer than in Germany.
Well, it could be worse. We don't get cold weather here that often. I mean by that, below freezing. And when we get snow or ice, it is a major production. People still talk about Snowmageddon, where we got what you probably would laugh at, a little snow, a little ice, shut the city down for about a week. We're just not used to it. Yeah. So
okay. We are also not used to it, but yeah. But anyway, we are also having troubles with any kind of weather, I guess, in Germany. However, I was stopping and positively shocked by the information that you transitioned from IT to acting. So maybe we can speak about this a bit.
Yes, it's probably not the typical career progression, going from one extreme to the other. Well, there's a lot of fun about being a corporate turned creative. Because first of all, none of us is just one thing in life. There's always so many different talents that we use, but a job is going to require one thing and maybe a passion is something else. So yes, I started off in IT development and sales, dealing with the leading edge. And then as time went by, I just decided I'm going to be dead one day. I don't want to have any regrets. What do I really love doing? That's been acting. And I had done it on the side all along. But then I decided I'm going to delve into it, be my own businesswoman, and just go for broke. And I've been having a marvelous time because you find that the same skills you had before are still used. They're just in a little bit different way. So when I was a salesperson, I gave the best presentations you ever saw. A lot of razzle dazzle. I just loved it. Now that I am an actor and a voice actor and a communications coach, all those business skills, all those sales skills, they come right into play. It just took a different order. That's all.
That's very impressive. I mean, and you are 100% right, because when you are selling, you're also, it's like a movie, right? You are presenting the product, you are presenting yourself. So it's about the speech, it's about the tone of your voice. So what is the most difficult part on selling? I mean, also maybe related to, being an actor.
Okay, well, a few things I'll just share with you. First of all, it's all about telling a story. As human beings, we relate to stories so well. That's what we really are interested in, and that's what we remember. From the days of sitting around the campfire to the stories that unfold on YouTube. So when you're in sales for business, or you're going to be performing a role, you're living it and you're sharing it from your heart. But most importantly, you're communicating to the other person. In other words, you're not just talking into a void. You are focusing on somebody who is really interested in what you have to say. So in this case, for example, if I'm going to coach you on about how to really have a dynamic, authentic presence online, I would tell you to talk to one person. Now, you're going to talk to a camera lens, and there'll probably be thousands, maybe millions of people watching you if you're lucky. But people feel it's a very intimate situation. If you talk as if you're talking to your best friend, and you just really make it conversational, and you speak naturally and from the heart with that story in mind.
Very interesting. So what other, like tip what you give, to somebody who likes to improve their sales skills? Because I mean, some people are also introverted, How about introverted people? I mean, you can be a very good salesperson, but you can be also very introverted, right?
Oh, yes. In fact, you'd be surprised how many actors are really introverts. One of the number one skills, and I don't think it's going to be that new to a lot of people, is to listen, especially if you're an introvert. I mean, I understand that. I tend to be a little more introverted than extroverted. But when you take the time to ask somebody about themselves and really listen, they're going to love you and they're going to tell you more and they're going to open up to you. The other thing is to, especially if you're going to be talking in front of a group of people, or you're going to be making any kind of a video or even on Zoom, don't worry, please, so much on how you look, how you sound, or even if you're that fluent with your words, because what you're going to do is be so busy judging yourself that you're going to forget about telling the message. You're going to lose the connection with the other person. You're going to lose track of your story. So know that you're enough. Now, we're all always evolving, and we can always do better. But don't bother with the criticism because most people don't care. If you're worried that, oh my gosh, I am too old, I am not pretty enough, I am not eloquent enough, I'm not comfortable talking to people, boom, 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 boom. If you just focus on what you have to say, people aren't going to even notice any of the other stuff, and they're not going to care. Because sometimes we rely on things like verbal crutches, filler words like, like. That's because people are just too focused on themselves, worried about getting the message out there, instead of opening up with a channel and telling their story.
This sounds so easy when you are telling this to me. Laura, I'm impressed.
Well, everything takes practice, but the mindset is the first thing we have to get in place. Get comfortable with yourself. Know who you're talking to, and know you have something important to share.
I remember one. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, please.
No. I was just going to say something. And also, when you're especially in a business sales situation, also know when to stop, just kind of shut up and listen. Because sometimes if you're not that introverted and you got yourself a stage and you go on, and maybe I just gave a bad example of it. Keep it short, listen to the other person. And that's all.
I listened very carefully to your words, and this just, brought me to I don't know, this is a memory I had when I was speaking to a friend, and he's also a salesperson, and very experienced, and he told me, you have always to remember, because there's one thing you should have in mind. It's you have only one mouth, but two ears.
Oh, absolutely. And that's brilliant. And a lot of us forget about that, don't we?
Yeah,
so
you're right.
It's a good reminder.
And what I also like, and I would like also, to point this out again, because sometimes it's hard to understand when we talk, right? For the listeners, that you mentioned that it's very important to not judge yourself while you are talking. I mean, I'm doing this, I guess I would say I'm doing this very often, if I talk to people, because I cannot just, keep it, to the flow and relax. I mean, only maybe if I talk to friends or something, maybe then I can relax. But if I'm in a situation, like my sales manager is telling me, okay, you have to make this and this numbers, the next month, and then I have to sell the product and I have to go to the client, I cannot speak and I cannot, be calm, because I am remembering, the pressure, and then I am judging myself.
Oh, well, you know what? We all do that. Excuse me. And when you're on camera or behind a mic, the interesting thing is that is like the death of the moment. Because the moment you step outside of yourself, immediately you lose that connection. And it feels like you are just distant from what you're trying to communicate. The funny thing is, at least here in the United States, for some years, the tone for most commercials is conversational. We get the same phrase, like you're talking to a good friend, because people don't want to be preached to. People don't like to be sold to, but they are willing to hear something you have to say if they think that it might be in their best interest. So relax. And that's why I say pretend you're talking to a great friend or a family member who just really supports you. You know, if your mom is the one, then put your mom there. You might even put a picture of that person next to the lens or in your mind if you're going to be talking to a group of people or somebody you don't really know. And another thing I like to use, I just like to call it future memory. Pretend you already had your conversation. Pretend that you already gave your presentation or you recorded your video or whatever. And it went beautifully. I mean, in your mind, nothing could have been off. People loved what you had to say. They nodded and they want to know more later. Now, take that confidence and say, all right, I'm going to do a replay. You don't have to worry about exactly everything you said, but you already know it's going to end well, because chances are it's going to come off a lot better than you think it does.
Laura, just a technical question or a strategic question. Would you recommend to record yourself while pitching, and then, viewing the recording and trying again? Or is this a bit awkward,
Are you talking about practicing or are you talking about making like a video for social media?
First things first. So about practicing.
About practicing. Well, we all have a pocket device that looks like this. And the best thing that you could do is just try it out. It doesn't have to be fancy. Get yourself a tripod, get yourself a ring light or just something that's well lit, and then just hit the camera and the video and practice it. And just tell a story. Don't worry about having to remember a long list of things. Just maybe tell a story about what you did for dinner, what you had for dinner, or what you did last weekend, and get comfortable. And you'll find you'll like yourself more when you're just who you are. You don't have to be staring at a camera all the time like that, because that's kind of creepy. No, naturally, we look away. We might look up and think. And that's what makes us human and engaging. Oh, and by the way, if anybody is trying to make sure that they stand out from a sea of sameness, as well as AI, the catchword of the day is human. And that means imperfection. So don't be afraid of, what was I going to say? Or maybe like we did, oh, wait, we're talking over each other. Fine, that's human. That's what people are always going to relate to. So practice it till you get a little more comfortable in front of this thing. And then just give it a go.
Thank you so much, Laura. Maybe we can speak also about, the social media content you also mentioned. If I'm going, to be, I don't know, if I'm going to make a video, for social media, for Instagram, for Facebook, for any kind of platform, because I would like to share, any kind of news of my business, or I would like to present a new product or whatever, or I would just like to present myself. So how should I do it? Should I practice it or should I just do it from the spot, right? And catch the emotions? So what would you recommend?
Well, I would see, first of all, what works best for you. Now, I would even back it up a little further. When you're talking about social media, you're mostly going to be talking about vertical format, the portrait that we normally see. You're also talking about something that's going to be very short, probably a minute, maybe even less. 90 seconds, I would stretch it to. And keep it to one idea, one thought in your video. And I would start off very strong immediately. Don't waste time. So like, hi, my name is Laura Doman, and boom, they're gone. No. Start off with the hook, something that they need to know. And it might be like, so you want to get better on camera? Oh, the viewer's thinking, well, maybe I do. Launch into 1 or 2 points. And that's it. Be yourself. You can practice it if you wish. You can have like a little checklist next to yourself, but don't make it stiff, because the whole thing about short videos these days is very informal, very casual and natural and human. But one thing I would ask you to do afterwards, first of all, make sure that when you are editing it, you hit it straight up, going right to that first hook. that first question. So there's no dead time or people are going to scroll past you. Same thing with the end. Cut it as soon as you're done talking, boom, and caption it. Because there are so many people who watch this stuff without the sound on, or they're not supposed to be really looking at their social media. And there are those who are hearing impaired. So it helps everybody. And also another thing, it helps SEO. If you're going to put this on YouTube, shorts are extremely popular. You can have a playlist in your channel just for shorts, and make sure that the title, the thumbnail, and the content are catchy enough and talk about what you're doing so that SEO, the AI of YouTube, will pick it up and then spread the word.
Wow, thank you so much, Laura. I was making a lot of notes, while you were talking. So because, I also see, points where we could improve, because we also do, social media content and so on. So very helpful. Okay, next question. So
Yes.
I would like to understand. So as you know, we at Sales Pro for You, we are connecting freelancers, experts, any kind also of employees with companies. So we are recruiter and staffer. And I would like to understand if I am now, a company looking for an expert like you, how could I work together with you? I mean, what would be the first steps, to get business with you?
Well, I would say give me a call. Contact me. I have a website, lauradoman.com. You'll see a lot of my voiceover services on camera, but also the consulting I offer. My direct email is laura@lauradoman.com. And I'm also on LinkedIn at Laura Doman. Surprise, we got some consistency. You can even check out my YouTube channel, which, wait for it, at Laura Doman. So there are many ways to get a hold of me, and I'm happy to talk and work with people either remotely, which I do rather often, or in person, individual or group.
Thank you so much, Laura. And the final question, because we are short on time,
Yes.
Could you maybe, I mean, you already shared a lot of insights, but maybe could you give a last final tip, for the listeners and the viewers,
Yes.
or a saying or something, what is, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, this one is for anybody who's recording a video. Remember that small is huge on screen. So don't go wild with your hands and moving all around. That'll be distracting. Know that even a small look can look very magnified, especially when it's going to be a tight shot and shown on a larger screen. So just keep the media in mind.
Thank you so much, Laura. And that is wrapping up our enlightening episode of today, the Expert Talk. Thank you so much, Laura Doman. I'm also saying it again, right? So to remember
it. Absolutely.
And folks, please remember success is a journey, and having the guidance and the wisdom of an experienced professional like Laura makes all the difference. So thank you so much, Laura. It was a pleasure talking to you. I'm very, very happy that we connected, and now we stay connected, hopefully, and we spoke. And I wish you a wonderful day in Atlanta, and I hope to talk to you again. Thank you so much for sharing your insights.
Thank you very much for having me as a guest.